Growing up around music has honestly showed me a lot. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Just a little backstory if you guys don't know who I am. I'm a photographer, I'm in the music scene. My lineage, they put out the very first rap album, etc. So I've been surrounded around, music and stuff like that since a child, from different ages and different, genres, all the way from rap, hip hop, jazz, soul, reggae, etc. Right? And one of the things that I took from, just being around these spaces is that art is a way of self-expression. Hold on. Okay. But yeah, art is a form of self-expression. And, I've started building my business, my social media agency and everything like that, right? And I'm noticing even people who have like affluent jobs, right? Whether they're doctors, lawyers, whatever the case may be. I'm noticing that they all have a way of expression, right? They all either do music, draw, write, or something like that on the side, right? And the only thing that typically separates those people from the artists that we, run across on a day-to-day basis is they don't promote what they do, right? However, everybody has an area of expression. And for me, since I grew up around rap predominantly, right, because of the lineage, I've seen how just talking outward and using your voice allows you to heal yourself in ways that you typically wouldn't be able to otherwise, right? When you're hopping on beats, you're doing lyrics, you're drawing, you're being a creative, whether it's fashion, modeling, whatever the case may be, you're pulling essences out from yourself. You're pulling the true core of who you are to the surface, and you're allowing other people to see it, interpret it, give their opinions on it. And even though that becomes kind of difficult for some people because we don't usually like other people's opinions and critique, just the process of you vocalizing how you feel and putting yourself out there is a healing practice, is a skill set, is a mindset change, right? And that's impacted me literally so much. I remember, and I always tell this story too. I remember it was about like 4 or 5 years ago, right? I was going through this really, 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 really bad breakup, and I wasn't focused. I was having difficulties finding my purpose, etc., right? And in the midst of all of that, I embraced writing, right? Now, when I started writing, I started to heal. I started to address myself. It was kind of like the way that I vented, right? And I found clarity amongst difficult situations. And out of that, I found my other passions. I found my camera. I found my editing, I found the things that I will eventually turn into a business. Now, when I started actually getting into the business, I noticed that it was putting more emphasis on other people than myself, which is okay because that's what the point of a business is, right? You're supposed to be of service to the people around you. But there became a point where I wasn't giving myself in my deepest, authentic form because I was trying to fit into the construct of somebody else's reality. So I had to find that balance within myself of doing for other people and doing for myself. Um, and it honestly was pretty difficult at first, because when you go into business and stuff like that, especially when you are first starting, you're doing it and you're stacking up your money, you're building the foundation, etc. And for you to take a very big pivot, and for at least for me to switch my attention to building more of a personal brand than a corporate brand, it brought my vulnerability to the surface. It made me address the things that I was actually dealing with. It made me address my life, and the things that was truly irritating me, bothering me, healing me, helping me grow, etc. I had to take a real good look at myself. And writing music in particular showed me an essence of myself that I kind of knew was there, but it takes my creativity, music, in other words, to kind of highlight it. Because once you get into the flow of creativity, the flow of writing, the flow of anything, you're typically just venting out what's inside. You're finding creative ways to bring what's in out. And whenever you start to bring what's inside of you out, you're able to see what's inside of you. And the moment I took a look at what I was talking about, how I was talking, the different things like that, it showed me, oh, this is something I'm still dealing with. This is still traumatizing to me. This is, just a little bit different. And even outside of, things like vulnerability and expressing yourself, being around music also showed me the life of like freedom in a facet, right? Now, I'm not saying everybody is like free to this just holy matrimony type shit and they just do what they want, because there is schedules, there is, itineraries, there is like goals and things that you need to do. But when I say people who embrace music fully, they operate very freely. You can do your music in the morning, at night, in the afternoon. You can be creative at any different time of the day, right? And somehow, some way, those people are still financially secure. So it showed me that you don't have to live your life in this 9 to 5 construct, this hard set routine in order for you to make money, in order for you to progress, in order for you to live a life of abundance and joy, right? Just being around people who operate a little bit more freely shows you how free you could potentially be, or shows, at least me, what blockages I had inside of myself, because everybody has the same 24 hours. So if you have time throughout the day to go and do these things and enjoy life, go just really just live, then that means I also have the time to do it too, which means I have to address what's actually dominating my time and why I not living through that energy, right? Because this is all an energy thing. It's all an energy thing. Even when you get into different things like manifesting and stuff like that with music, the lyrics, once you get on these beats and you start writing, you start being creative and all this other type of stuff, you're manifesting. It's just so many different things that you learn and you see just from being around music, artists, rappers, etc. That if you grew up in a self-limiting belief, a self-limiting environment, anything like that, it seems very foreign to you at first, because these aren't things that's taught to you by nature, right? You're taught a certain headspace or a certain mindset dependent on the environment that you grew up. Now, once these quote-unquote rappers and artists, etc., started getting the money and acknowledgement, etc., they were able to remove themselves from the environment that they initially started in. And that's why people tell you need to travel and all this other type of stuff too, because the moment you travel, the moment you go outside and see what different type of lifestyles is truly out there, what type of mindsets is actually out there, what type of knowledge and information is out there, you allow yourself to grow into deeper spaces, into more elevated ways of thinking. If you grew up like in South Central, if you grew up in Los Angeles and you're in one of the worst parts of Los Angeles, and all you're hearing about is the violence, the greed, the jealousy, the envy, the just survival mode that usually gets put on our children very early. It got put on me very early. That headspace becomes very ingrained into our day-to-day lives, and it takes literally removing yourself from the situation, from the environment, for you to see that your train of thinking was rooted in something that may not have been completely true. When all you've experienced is one thing, all you've experienced is one reality, it's very easy for you to fall into the loop of thinking that that's what life is. That's the end all be all. This is how this is supposed to be. This is how life plays out for most people, until once again you step outside of what you've experienced and you see somebody who has experienced something completely different. Then you just start to open your eyes a little bit. Why are they able to get that and I'm not? Oh, that's the kicker. They're able to get that and I'm able to get that, but I haven't viewed myself at the level and had a level of self-belief and integrity to actually live my life out in that energy. What's available to the next person is usually available to you too. However, whatever self-limiting beliefs, whatever trauma, whatever headspace you're in is prohibiting you from stepping forward into that. So yeah, being around rappers, being around artists, etc. has honestly been a blessing. God knows what my life path would have been like if I wasn't exposed to music, if I wasn't exposed to self-expression, if I wasn't exposed to just freedom, creativity, being an artist. You feel me? So yeah, I hope you guys can take something from this video. I love you guys. If you guys ever need anything too, you guys know I do photography and I edit and stuff like that. So if you guys need help, if you guys are artists and stuff, that's what I'm here for. But other than that, I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. It's been Jay. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Peace.